What's up, man? It's your boy Jay, aka The Strategy, aka Mama. There goes that man again, aka I'm so disrespectful, aka the man by many names. My last review, I said like I wasn't too impressed by the season, by the episode that they chose to bring it back on. But this episode was kick ass. This is the Walking Dead I'm talking about. This is the Walking Dead I fell in love with. But enough of that. Let's start it off. This episode starts off almost kind of where the last episode left off on. We see Rick like kind of setting up the barriers for war and whatnot, and he's setting up these barriers for war and stuff because he knows that the governor is going to retaliate and try to, kill him. So he's setting up these barriers or whatnot, but he sees Lori and he goes and chases her, and he basically just goes and chases her. Then we basically see then they go to a camera shot of Glenn and the rest of the group in basically the corridor, just talking, sitting in a little corridor, and Glenn's like, fuck that, we need to go back, we need to hit the governor, we need to do all this, we need to do this, we need to do that. And he basically goes to Michonne and he's like, listen, you know where the governor's, like where his house at, we can sneak back in, kill him, and I'll put a bullet in his head myself. And Michonne was like, okay, I'm with that. Herschel's like, no, we can't do that, that's too, he's like, we need to leave this prison. Basically Herschel's on some bitch shit, and I agree with Glenn on the fact of the matter is, you can't run from the governor, okay? If you run, where you gonna go? Glenn made good points in it, because him and Herschel get into an argument. He's like, listen, we need to run. And Glenn's like, go where? He's like, and Herschel's like, well, we ran all winter. And Glenn was like, well, that's when you had a leg and we didn't have a baby screaming, attracting walkers to it. Maggie walks off. Glenn follows her, and he basically, this is basically where Maggie tells Glenn the governor didn't rape me. Now, once again, this is kind of where I got pissed off at Maggie. The same way I kind of got pissed off at Lori. Glenn is angry because he thinks the governor raped Maggie. I mean, that's essentially like somebody raping your mother or raping your sister. Glenn like, we need to talk about this. You need to talk about it. And she basically tell him that she made him strip naked, came behind him, but he didn't rape her. And then she like start going off like, don't touch me, don't touch me. And I didn't get why she was angry at Glenn. Glenn rage came from sort of Maggie, but he also came from knowing that he has to lead this group now, because the two people who were most fitted to lead, Rick is cracking and Daryl is in La La Land. Not Daryl, Rick is cracking and Daryl ran off with his brother Merle. And so he walks away, and I felt, why the fuck would she get mad at Glenn? Glenn was doing nothing to her. He was pissed because he thought, somebody in his family had got harmed. We hear all this and cut back to Andrea. And I told you guys in my last thing that Andrea is more suited to lead the town than the governor. And I told you guys the way that they did it, it looked like they were foreshadowing her leading. By gosh, the governor comes in and tell her, listen, my mind is not in the right place. You need to lead the town. But you see the governor sneak off and go somewhere. Now, when the governor sneaks off and leaves the camp, we all know what the fuck he's going to do. When she started looking for the governor, Andrea, I already knew the governor was going to retaliate against Rick and his people. You see the other people and the other, troops of the governor act cold towards Andrea. She walks up to one of them, she's like, where did the governor go? And she's like, I'm not saying nothing. So you already see that even though, she got the respect of the people, the people who matter, really, the people with the guns, still holds loyalty to the governor. They don't hold it to Andrea, and they're like, fuck you, the governor told me not to tell you. But I think the people trust Andrea more than the governor. Go to Daryl and Merle, which is so funny because these are some of the best scenes in the entire show tonight. This episode, you see Daryl and Merle arguing like little brother and big brother. They come up on some people, on some Latino people who are basically getting attacked by walkers, and this to me is what shows the difference between Daryl and Merle. Daryl sprints into action. He goes to help him. Merle sees it and he starts yelling, jump, jump. He's telling these motherfuckers to kill himself, jump. And Daryl basically sprints into action. It's like, fuck that, it's a baby. So they go and help him, and after they save him or whatnot, Merle start rumbling through the car like trying to scavenge shit, and Daryl basically put the crossbow to his head, and I was like, oh shit, this is different, because we never ever seen Daryl go against his brother in this entire series. Now, I haven't read the comic books. I'm going to choose to wait until this entire show's over before I read the comic book. Basically put the crossbow to Merle's head, and Merle was like, I know you're not talking to me. So Daryl gets out and they let him go amongst their way, and they basically get into an argument, and then that's where you see that at once upon a time, Merle wasn't such a bad guy. That basically, it says so many words that their dad was abusive. That he basically used to, you know, fuck him up. They used to beat the shit out of him, you know, fuck him up. And Merle was like, you know, Daryl was like, you left me. And this is kind of where their issue comes out. He's like, you left me when we were kids, and you know, Daryl is kind of saying like, they might have did it to you, but I came back for you. You left it. You never came back for me. And Merle was like, I couldn't stay, little brother, because if I did, I would have fucking killed him. And he's like, yeah, what not? So Daryl says, I'm going back to where I belong. And I was like, fuck yeah, Daryl's going back to the group. Now, there was another part of me that said, fuck Daryl. Daryl is my favorite character in the group, but there's another part of me saying, he made his choice. He walked away. I don't think they should let him back in the group. I think they are, but I don't think they should let him back in the group. As he was walking away, Merle is like, what the fuck? I can't go there. I can't go back there. And he was like, I'm leaving, but it's feel like you're the one who's walking away. So Daryl goes back onto the group. Merle's like, you know, I damn near killed that black bitch and the little Chinese boy. And Daryl's like, he said his actual nationality, and I just found it funny. So I thought they were walking back to the prison. Meanwhile, Rick's still in La La Land, and Oscar walks up and he's talking to Oscar walks up and he's talking, and next thing you know, he catches a fucking bullet to the head. Pew! Boom! He's down. I was like, what the fuck did that come from? Big gunfight broke out, and it looked like Rick was gonna die, because you know Rick was outside of the gate in La La Land. He basically had to return fire to get them to back up. The governor drove a motherfucking thing of walkers in there and planted it in the prison. Now the prison is damn near overflowing with walkers again, and all this. And Andrea's still a whore. Rick looks like he's finna die, and he walks all on him. Michonne is running to save Herschel. Glenn comes back, and you know, he saves Herschel, him and Michonne, because Michonne's a bad bitch. In all of this, I never fear for Michonne. I know somehow Michonne is going to survive. Michonne and Daryl are the only two people in this entire series that I know somehow they're going to live. I think Rick's going to get it, and all of a sudden, a walker's catch an arrow to the head. Daryl came back. And Merle. And Merle and Daryl came back and saved Rick. We see Rick at the end, once he got saved by Daryl and Merle, looking to the gate, and then all of a sudden he just, like, oh yeah, it's on. It only seems like in times where it's time to kick some ass that Rick snaps out of this fucking vein and snaps back into reality. And then it seems like when shit comes back down, he goes crazy again. Because you could tell he snapped out and it's on. So, my predictions of this episode, I think they did some foreshadowing in it. There was actually a scene where Maggie was holding Rick's baby, and she was smiling and whatnot. I think that's foreshadowing. I think that she might be pregnant. She might be pregnant with Glenn's, and if she's not pregnant, I foresee that coming in the future for her, because they wouldn't just have that. I mean, who the fuck holds a baby to calm themselves down? Come on, that had to be in there for a reason. And crazy as it may seem, I think Lori being back in the series, in the I know that Rick's going crazy, but I think what he said in this episode was true. It's a reason why she showed back up. It's the reason why he's seeing this shit, and I think that's some foreshadowing too. I haven't figured that one out yet, but I think Maggie's gonna have a baby eventually. If not this season, maybe next season. She's pregnant right now. I know it. I feel it, that's coming down the line for her. And look like the war is officially on. So I definitely give this episode thumbs up. Fucking good episode, good plot, good movement of the story, a lot of action, but a lot of movement of the story. So I definitely give this a thumbs up, man. So leave comments. You guys tell me what you think, and you tell me what you think is gonna happen. And so I'm signing off. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully my fucking camera will be fixed. And konnichiwa, bitches.